everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on this 2004 XP DI. This has the 951 with the direct injection motor in it. You either love these or you hate them. They've got more electronics on them for all the fuel injections. There's an air compressor on the 951 pump that likes to fail. You have that fuel pump, the injectors, the air and fuel regulators on the engine. Just a lot more electronic stuff to fail. That's why I personally love the carburetor engines a lot better. Just give me cables and give me carbs to rebuild any day. Your fuel pump goes out on this, a brand new one, $600. If you're mechanically inclined, you can disassemble the old one and just buy the little pump itself for about $200 or so. But it takes some work and some fabrication to get the old one out of the housing and install the new one, as opposed to just dropping in a whole unit. But they either run great when they run great, and then you start having electrical issues, and that's the downfall of the DI. I've got a 2001 GTX DI over there that I'm trouble having issues with. I got it all torn apart, and I'm just at my wits end with that thing. So personally, I just prefer the carburetors. And if this one ever fails on me, I've got a 99 XP that's just like this that I'm going to take everything out of and put in this one to convert this to a carb, because I love the red and black. That's why I wanted this machine, was the red and the black. So we don't really care for the DI. So later on, if this thing fails me, it's getting a carb swap in. And to do that, of course, you need a carb engine, you need a carb gas tank, and a few other things. But if you find yourself a donor like I have, of a 99 donor, it should be easy peasy to do. So maybe in a few years, look forward to that video. For now, we're having an electrical issue on this. I believe it's the rectifier. This still has the OEM rectifier from 2003, 2004 when they installed it, and they're pretty chintzy and pretty crappy. We're going to be installing a brand new higher duty output rectifier from OSD Marine. Got this rectifier for about $100. It's sitting over here in my toolbox. I'll grab it. So this will basically be a little rectifier change. It's not that difficult. As far as I can tell, it's basically 2 bolts, 2 nuts on this, the one that's in there, and then 2 wires, 2 wire connectors. So this is a heavy duty one. Feels really good in quality, so we'll see how it runs with it, and hopefully that fixes our issue. Our issue with this was, get out and start it. It'll ride great for 20 minutes. Then you'd get a loud beep. It would say maintenance, and it wouldn't go past 40 miles an hour. It just lost power. You'd pull the key off, kill it, wait a second, put it back on. She'd run great for another 15, 20, 30 minutes. She'd run great. And then you get that loud beep again. And it would do it all over again. So it seems like an electrical issue, because when it runs great. It just seems that rectifier is faulting out and causing it to go into limp mode. So that's my diagnosis for this. And we're going to swap this out, and hopefully that fixes this issue. So let's dive into this. So I think for tools, we're going to need hopefully we can get in there with our ratchet. We've got some extensions, and we got our 10mm socket. That's, I'm guessing, is on that. So not many tools are required. I've already had this open. I took off the box. Hopefully my lid will stay open. And the old rectifier is right up front in a hard to reach pain in the butt area. As you can see, there's 2 nuts on a stud that's holding that in, and then we got our connector. I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna be able to record this. We'll get in here and record it, but we will do our best. But like I said, it's a pretty straightforward exchange, swap out. It's just going to be a pain in the butt to get to, because you got the steering, you got the hood box shock here. We might be able to take that off, but then we'd have to take the whole hood off because it'll fall on us. And we have our electrical stuff here, and then we have our cables. So we have some stuff in the way, going to make it a little difficult to get in, but we will do our best. I've got my camera on the tripod, kind of pointing down here, and we will see. Okay, so it is a 10 mil. I'll try different extensions to see what I can get in there with. Probably not going to be able to get in there with this. Let's see. You don't want to drop your nuts. Excuse the pun. So the two nuts are off. Fish this through. There's the old rectifier. Old rectifier is off. Got our new one. Plug it in. There we go. Easy peasy. Now becomes the difficult part of getting those nuts. And she fits right up. Oh my gosh. We have an issue. Well, thought it would be that easy. The studs for the mount are not long enough. So this turned into a not so easy job. What are we going to do? First, I'm going to take out the mounting bracket. That's going to be a pain in the butt. But let's disconnect this rectifier. We could just zip tie it up somewhere. Maybe we'll do that. But let's get our fabricating smarts out and see what we can find. Okay, let's get our... There's a lot of hoses and stuff in the way. And those are not 10 mils. Figure out what size those are. Wonder if they're 8s. I think an 8 will work. And these hoses are just in. Okay, I'll swap out for a longer extension. I don't have an 8 deep socket available. Okay, and those are screws that hold those on. And we have 2 of those self-tapered screws that go into the fiberglass. Don't want to lose those. Oh, there's 2 more. There's 2 more hidden back in the back. Oh man, those are going to be a pain to get to. Why?
Okay. I don't know how I'm going to get to those. They're back behind the styrofoam. That's no good. Okay, I will show you guys what I'm dealing with. Okay. Back there in that back corner. Right back there. It's hard to see with this stuff in the way, but you can partially see it right there. That's going to be a pain to get to. It's going to be even more a pain to put back in. Okay, so I got to devise some way to get those out, to get that bracket out. But those are the studs there, and they are too short. They're too short. These here should have been over here. I don't think we can mount it backwards. It's even more that way. We just have a difference in the rectifiers. What to do? What to do? Not good. Okay, so we're going to use this handy dandy flex tool with our impact driver, our driver. We got an extension on there, adapter extension with our 8mm socket. So hopefully we can get in there and get that out. We'll get this. Okay guys, so what we did was we actually tore out some of the styrofoam so we can get to those back two sockets, those back two screws. And as you see, I got the one out, it's laying there. So I'm gonna tackle that other one, we'll get that out. We'll get that bracket out, and then we'll see what we can do to modify that bracket to get some longer bolts and something in there. So this quick, simple job turned into a more difficult job. Don't you love when that happens? Getting in there, that other one's going to be a pain. I got my knife. Trying to cut out around the bolt head. There. Okay. Take this. There's just no room to work in there. There we go. Like I said, all this stuff is in the way, makes it hard to get a tool in there. Don't want to lose that screw. The lock washer isn't an issue. Don't care if I lose that. Got that. There we go. Now let's see if we can get this bracket. There we go. We have success, guys. So I got this out. We're going to grind these down, get these studs off here and replace them with something better. Replace them with some longer studs, some longer bolts, and we'll get this done. So I'll probably make... Okay guys, after about 10 minutes of doing some grinding with a dull
grinding disc. Probably would have been faster if I had a fresh grinding disc, but I'm all out. This is what I had. Got the studs grounded off. They're down there on the ground, hot, so I'm not picking them up. This is still pretty warm. But we got the studs out. You can see here. So we just have nice holes. And we'll get some bolts and stick through there with some jam nuts. And hopefully that'll solve our issue. And we can get this thing back on the road or the water. Get all this project finished up. So let's see what we can do to find some bolts. We're gonna try to find some, I believe they're 6mm. That way a 10mm socket will go on them like before. And we'll get this buttoned up. Okay, excuse the mess. I've got projects. I'm working on the 951 XP swap project. I took out the old carbs. I'll be posting a video about that later. But I got the studs all ground off and out. We've got some longer bolts here. We're going to put some nylon lock nuts on the inside to secure them. Got my 10mm here. We're going to put that on it and we'll tighten this up. That one's tight. That should do it. Hope you guys can see this. We got our 2 hex nuts and our nylon lock nuts in there, so it works as a stud. If you've got a welder, you could weld it, but this way in the future, if we need a longer nut or longer bolt, I got just enough thread. I'm going to put 2 fresh stainless ones on this. Just long enough. So this took a little longer than I expected, a little setback. So if you're doing this mod, be prepared to do this. If your studs are too short from the original OEM stator or rectifier, this is kind of what you need. Get some longer bolts and some nylon lock nuts and make your own studs. Spend about 10 minutes grinding, set you back a little bit if you don't have everything, so be prepared for that. Now let's get this thing back into the ski. Okay, so hopefully I got this set up so it'll give me a good view. We'll get this thing back in here. Might be hard to bolt this back in with this in the way, but we're going to try it. There we go, she's all in. Now we just need to hook up these wires, which since I did this in reverse order, it's going to be a pain as well. Do the 2-prong first. Yep. So just note, put the rectifier. Don't put the rectifier on the bracket before you put it in. That'll make it a little easier for you, but it's manageable. The wire connectors on the stator on the rectifier are short, so there we go. Grab the. Okay. Sorry, it's hard to see in there, but she's all hooked up. New rectifier is installed. So hope you guys have enjoyed this little quick turn into a long how-to update on this 04 XP DI rectifier swap. Not a hard project, should be easier than what it was. So if you do get this the new rectifier off OSD Marine or somewhere else, be prepared to have this issue come up with the studs on that bracket not being long enough. Go and get you some longer 6mm hex bolts and some nylon lock nuts, and grind out the old studs and put the new bolts in as studs, and you'll be good to go. So you'll probably add maybe another hour to your project. Cut out, rip off some of the styrofoam to help get to those outer hex bolts on the brackets. That'll help you get those out a lot easier, and you will scratch and cut yourself in that tight spot. So not a difficult job, but it took longer than I expected. Hopefully this solves the issue with this XP, with it going into limp mode like that randomly. If not, I'll keep you posted. I'm going to hopefully get some more hours on this machine before it goes into storage for winter. It's August 13th, Sunday, so we got the sortie, Twin Cities Jet Pilots, TC Jet Pilot sortie coming up down at Lake City on Lake Pepin, south of Red Wing on the Mississippi River. We got a big event coming there. I'm working on my 2 XPs, the 95 XP 951 and my 96 XP 800. Working on those to have those ready for that big event. If you're in Minnesota or Wisconsin, check it out. There'll be a link to the Facebook group in the description. So join us. There'll be big boats out there plowing V-wakes, and we'll be sending it. There's a raffle, $20 raffle, get you a chance to win. I'm not into stand-ups, but it's some 90s Yamaha or stand-up ski. You'll find that on the Facebook page. They actually have 2 of them this year. They're twins. So you might get to walk home with one, might get to walk home with both of them. I don't know how they're doing it. But it's a good charity event. Check it out, TC Jet Pilot sortie. I'll have some video for that as well, probably after the event, probably a few weeks after the event, we'll have some more video for that. So hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a suggestion. Let me know if you've had this problem on your DI skis or any other issues. So appreciate it, guys. See you in the next video.
OSD Marine.
Okay, you ready?
This video is sponsored by OSD Marine. Check them out for all your Sea-Doo 2-stroke parts.